Alright, you are tuning in live for our November 16 webinar series on how to confidently package your marketing skills into a service people will pay for. For those who here, I'm Yngson, your host and webinar speaker. I'm a 14-year digital marketing and brand marketing solopreneur. I've been doing marketing webinars for 2 years now, and recently I founded Quiet Marketing in mid-March of this year. And since then, we're growing from 0 to 900 following here on Facebook, and hopefully we'll reach 1,000 at the end of this year. And we've already received 2,000 signups from over 300 universities nationwide. We've also been invited as a webinar resource speaker for school events and other organizations. I also founded Marketing Webinar Philippines group with over 2,000 members already. And make sure to join our private community where we share our upcoming marketing webinars for those who need it for school purposes and professional development in terms of marketing topics. And we now have over 20 plus marketing webinars conducted since March. And yeah, welcome and thank you for joining us tonight. Please do share our live stream and stay with us for an hour of value pack webinar on how to confidently package your marketing skills into a service people will pay for. And the reason why I chose to cover this topic is because more and more people are working from the comforts of their own home, opting for freelance and virtual assistant, and while they already have the right skills and took courses on how to become a VA, one thing is for sure, and this is always a question I get. I've seen a lot of questions on how beginners are lost in terms of how they will package their services fairly, including pricing. And para sa mga iba, madali na lang itong part na to. But for some, lalo na sa mga beginners, this is a tricky part. Kaya naman this webinar is aiming to guide you how to confidently package not just your marketing skills, but any services actually in general into a service that people will pay for in 2025. And this is also a continuation of our topic, building your marketing portfolio. After your portfolio, you should prepare your one page or a one-pager service package. Kasi sa totoo lang, a lot undersell themselves, and we need to emphasize here also the importance of proper research about the services that you will provide. Research as many as you can and then come up according to what you can actually offer based on the information you already have. It makes you knowledgeable about the processes and how to navigate the market. And marami kaagad na nagja-jump sa paghahanap ng clients. And then saka pa lang nila iisipin yung services nila, yung skills nila, and pricing nila. And ang wala sa kanila most of the time also is contract of agreement, but that would be tackled in another topic. And most of the time, clueless sila sa mga bagay na ito. And ang masakit pa nga, yung iba, they're already onboarded. Nagtatrabaho na sila for free, which results for some, yung frustration for yung mga client ghosting. And eto pa nga, may mga questions then that ask is it fair to work free to build a portfolio? In my previous webinars, I often say that you can build your portfolio by doing volunteer work, but it doesn't mean that kailangan pa rin na volunteer work means that you're basing on your judgment na kagaya mo ba yung mga tinutulungan mo. Are they also beginners, startup in business, not full-blown clients that has the ability to pay you? You can join non-profit organization or looking for volunteer works. And when I say volunteer, you could also include na rin yung ACADS nyo. So, to avoid all of these common mistakes, magsisimula tayo sa fundamentals and basics on how this will guide you how to confidently package your services. Okay, so Ang webinar natin will tackle on knowing your value. What are the skills that you can package as a service? How to create specific bundles? What are the scopes of services? How to include complementary services that make sense, and pricing, a little bit of pricing psychology. So we're gonna touch on that as well. Okay, so here's the thing, no, the common practice is that in packaging your services or your skills, um, kadalasan ang ginagawa ng iba, they will research on how others are packaging their services. But sa totoo lang talaga, it's different per individual because we have unique skills. Okay? Meron kang unique skills na unique lang sa iyo. Okay? You cannot just simply put that you can do video editing if you're not good in video editing kasi nakita mo lang siya sa isang concept or nakita mo lang siya sa isang freelancer na ganun yung ginagawa niya, kukopyahin mo yun. So, that's not what we're trying to do here. Kaya nga, sa pag-usapan natin yung knowing your value. So, services and rates varies per individual and due to a lot of factors, no, such as your skill set, your level of expertise, your work pace, how fast do you work or get the job done, which we're going to tackle in the succeeding slides. And of course, ang goal natin is to help you find out what are your marketable skills, the skills you have that you can provide as a service while even being a student or a fresh graduate already, or anyone transitioning from corporate to freelance work who are into digital marketing or whatever field. Okay, so show how to turn your skills into specific services that people understand and buy. And also, eto na nga, we're exposing beginner traps and how to avoid them. And of course, everyone wants to earn naman in your skills, diba? But not everyone knows how to turn those skills into something that people will actually pay for. So, before you sell anything, you need to know what you're actually good at, okay? So, knowing your value, okay? Knowing your value, identify what you're actually good at, okay? These are your skills. It's not your title, okay? Ask yourself, if I strip away a title, for example, if you're a marketing student, what can you actually do that produces an outcome? Can you write captions that get people to comment? Can you create scroll-stopping visuals? Can you edit videos that make people stay longer on a page? Okay? That's your real skill. That's your value. And the goal is to stop identifying by what you studied. Okay? We're already done with the theories. Okay? You start identifying by what you can deliver. Okay? You are not your course or your diploma. You are the result of what you can produce. Okay? And second is check what's in demand right now. It could be, ang nangunguna talaga ngayon when it comes to freelancing ay social media management. Okay? It's complemented with video editing, okay? Graphics designing, copywriting, AI marketing, and admin roles. Checking what's in demand right now is aligning your skill or your skills with what's actually needed in the market today. Okay, you may be passionate about a lot of things, but if no one's paying for it, that's just a hobby. Okay, right now, ang 2025 data natin shows that the most in-demand marketing services are still social media management. You can do short form video editing and copywriting, and then you have the newer growth areas that is related to AI powered marketing, automation, administrative support for creators, or even small businesses. Okay, so if you already know a bit of any of these, congratulations, you're sitting on something that can pay you. And if you're not yet confident in one area, that's okay. Start learning with just one that's in demand. Okay, remember that it's not about having every skill, it's about it's about being relevant in one. Okay, you don't need to reinvent yourself, you just need to match your existing strengths to what the market is already paying for. That's working smartly. Okay, and the next is ask yourself, what problem do I solve for others? This is the real test of value, not what you know, but what you solve. Think of it this way: if you do social media, you're not just posting, you're helping brands get attention and engagement. If you're writing captions, you're not just writing, you're helping brands communicate clearly. If you edit videos, you're not just cutting clips, you're helping clients retain viewers and even grow more reach. Okay, so every service should be linked to a real business problem: visibility, engagement, sales, and even efficiency. Okay, because once you can clearly answer, what problem do I solve, people start seeing you as a solution, not just as a student or a marketing professional. Your value is not your skills, it's the problem your skills solve. Okay, so once you're clear about your value, the next step is to make it visible. Creating specific bundles, because clarity is useless if no one can see what you can do. So now let's talk about how to package that value in a way that makes people want to pay for it. Okay, so the goal of this part is to help you understand how bundling adds value, okay, simplifies client decisions, and increase your earning potential. Most freelancers, they stuck charging per task. Okay? So, ito yung pag-usapan na one design here, one post there, one caption per project. But as a smart marketer, you know that you're not just selling tasks. Diba? You're selling a solution, or you're selling solutions. And one of the best ways to do that is by bundling your services. Okay? Bundling isn't about doing more. Okay? Doing more work. It's about packaging what you already do in a way that feels complete and valuable to your client. So how do we actually bundle our services effectively? Okay? We've already touched upon the fact that creating bundles is simplifying the process for your clients. You don't want them to look at something like, I have years of experience in fields XYZ, call me. So instead of that, you should be specific with your packages. For example, a general but more specific package would be, I'll build you a website, host it, and take care of any issues for X months. Okay, that's a package that they can click with. Okay, so let's take a step by step on how to actually create a specific bundle. Okay, so alright, so we just edit a little bit of that, how to bundle your service effectively. So number one is identifying the services that complement each other. Okay, why this matters? Because when you combine related skills, you make your offer look like a ready to use solution, not a random mix of services. Kasi ito yung mga sinasabi ko kanina na beginner's trap, na you're formulating service package that is not complementary with each other. Meaning, for example, you're gonna do social media management and then you're adding email marketing. That's a totally different game. That needed a totally different skill set. Okay? So one is focused on social media management, managing brands visibility, and the other one is focusing on copywriting. Okay? Email marketing. When you combine related skills, your offer looks like a ready-to-use solution, not a random mix of services. Client love convenience. Yan ang tatandaan natin. They'd rather hire one person who can do a whole mini project than manage 3 different freelancers. Okay? So, it's less stressful for them. So, if you can provide, or you can present it in a one single package or at 3 different tier packages depending on the scope of each packages, then much better. Okay? Mas gusto nila ng mas mapabilis. Okay? Gusto nila ng easier, less hassle engagement with freelancers. Okay? So, if, for example, if you're a social media manager, you can bundle your services with content planning plus posting and add engagement tracking. Okay? If you're a brand designer, you can do logo, you can do a brand kit and social media templates. Now, if you're a copywriter, you can bundle captions writing, email copy, and landing page copy. So, you need to make your services complementary with each other. Okay? Think of it like what other skills or output naturally supports your main offer. If your main dish is social media, what's your perfect side dish? Oh, di ba para lang siyang sa mga dishes natin. It should be complementary. Okay? And the next is creating tiered packages, basic, premium, ultimate, kagaya ng pinakita natin dito kanina. Okay, so this is just a framework on how you're gonna start with bundling your services. So clients have different budgets and needs. So if you only offer one rate, you only offer one package, you're limiting options, you might scare off beginners or undersell to big brands. Okay? Tiered packages, pag sinabi nating tier, ito na yon, yung basic, premium, ultimate packages, it gives people choice, okay? And choice, it builds trust. Kaya naman, pagpapakita natin itong example natin of a tiered packages, ito siya. Okay? So, we have the quantity and the description, what is included in basic, in standard, or in premium. So, your goal isn't to trap your clients with upsells, no? It's to show them how much more value they get when they go higher. Okay? So, you can use language like dito ang ginamit nila, fly with style, and get a map. Ang kadalasan na ginagamit. So, this is just being creative kasi tayong mga marketers, we just want to use flair words, flair terms to make it look more appealing. Yan naman ang mga trabaho ng social media marketers. Okay? So, ang kadalasan na ginagamit dito could be, you could use most popular. You could use language like most popular or best value beside mid-tier packages. So, that's the one clients usually choose. Okay? So, this is the example of our packages. And later on, we're going to tackle a little bit more of the components of these package. So, ito yung sample package natin. And then, of course, after creating a tiered package, which is the basic, premium, and ultimate, ensure that each package offers true value. Now, paano naman yan? Okay? Bundling doesn't mean stuffing random things together. No, it's about balance. Okay? Each package must make sense for what it costs. Okay? Don't put brand strategy, content calendar, video editing, email marketing, all for $3,000. For example, that's not a bundle. That's a self-sabotage. Kasi video editing is another different skills. Email marketing is another different skills. Brand strategy is another different skill. Okay? Start small, but you need to package smart. Remember that clients don't always want more. They want clearer. Okay, so dito kadalasan nagkakaroon ng pagkakamali or ng mistakes yung mga beginner's trap na sinasabi natin, that you're bundling your services into a package that doesn't make sense. Kasi kaya ka na burn out kasi kailangan mo pang mag-video editing. But if you're focusing on complementary services, then the flow of your job or your work flows naturally without burnout. Okay, so a value comes from clarity. Kahit anong bagay, we always come back to the term clarity. If they understand what they're getting and why it helps them, you'll close more deals, okay, and you'll land more clients. Alright, so there. Now, the next thing that you need to understand is the scope. Ano ba yung mga nilalagay? Ano ba yung mga ilalagay natin? Scope, and then of course also yung pricing na rin natin. So, when we say scope, project scope, for example, basic, we have the package level, we have the basic, premium, and ultimate. So for basic, small scope, limited time commitment, and this is just an example of our price here, no? So we have a guide. Now when it comes to premium, so it's medium scope, moderate time commitment, and then for ultimate, it's large scope and extensive time commitment. Now let's explain further, no? So when we can compare the packages para mas maintindihan natin. So for yung maintindihan natin yung scope, okay? Now, when it comes to basic, so we have the tagline fly, and then it includes quantity, no? Clear siya, nakalagay yung quantity. 15 static post, 5 stories, and then we have the brand kit, page evaluation, brand theme, and action plan. So, kasama na siya. And then the tasks are scheduling post and reporting. So, that's for the basic. Okay? This package is perfect for startups or small brands who just want to finally get consistent online. So they're not looking for fancy ads or analytics yet. Okay? They just need a system to start posting and understand their identity. So this example of bundled packages is for a social media management. Okay? So this is for the basic. This is an entry offer. It's not your highest profit margin, but it builds trust. It gets your foot in the door, and once the clients see results, they upgrade. Okay? There. Nakikita ba yung slide natin? Now, the key takeaway here for the basic is that start small, okay? But make sure that the offer feel complete. Don't underprice yourself. Give them structure, clarity, and small wins. Okay, so yan is sa basic natin. Now, when it comes to standard, this is the sweet spot. The standard package usually brings the highest conversion rate. Why? Because it balances deliverables. So, as you can see, creativity, strategy, without overwhelming your client's budget. Okay, notice how this package adds reels, and then it has stories as well. It upgrades the client reach and engagement. Instead of just showing up now, your brand can stand out. No, your client's brand can stand out. So yung mid-tier natin should always look like the best deal. The best deal. Yun yung sabi natin kanina, di ba? Best value, most popular. Highlight this, okay? Highlight it visually. Kaya yung iba, what they do is they highlight it. Mas malaki yung design nitong standard package na to. That's how they highlight it. Most clients will always choose it when they compare value versus cost. Kaya nga, comparing the packages. Okay? Now, when it comes naman dito sa premium natin, fly with style and get a map. It includes yung scope natin, 25 posts, 5 carousels, 20 static, 10 reels, 15 stories, brand kit, analytics, tools, and more. Okay? So, you're getting so much. Okay? But, this premium package doesn't deliver content now, no? It delivers data na kasi with analytics tool na siya. Okay? The inclusion of an analytics tool means the client isn't just buying creativity, they're buying insight and strategy. Okay? That's higher value transformation. So, you don't charge more because you do more. You charge more because the result is bigger and it is now measurable. Kasi meron na tayong sinamang analytics. Okay? So, this package is designed for high-ticket clients. They're serious about scaling and serious clients pay for more. Okay? So, premium packages should scream transformation. If your lowest tier helps them start, your top tier should help them grow. The smart psychology behind these tiers isn't just random. Hindi lang siya random. It's strategic psychology. Clients like to compare, So instead of them comparing you to another freelancer, let them compare you to you. Okay? So, i-compare ka na nila using etong pinrovide mo sa kanila na tier packages. Okay? So, this setup works because the basic tier, it removes excuses, no? It's affordable. Let's try it. Okay? The standard tier feels like the smartest choice, the best value. Kaya yung sabi natin kanina. The premium tier naman sets your worth. This freelancer is high level. Inaisipin ng client because you can do all of these things. Okay? Now that you've seen how bundling works, let's now talk about how pricing plays into your value and why you should never charge based only on your time. So let's talk muna about anchoring. Since we're talking about the scope of services, let's talk about what is anchoring. Ano naman yung role ni anchoring dito? Offering the right amount of choices. When you've bundled your services, the next challenge is how many choices. Diba? So, kanina, we've enumerated kung ano yung mga scope of services natin. The next challenge is how many should you actually give your client. So this is called anchoring, offering the right amount of choices. Because here's what happened in real life. If you offer too many choices, people get confused. Now, if you offer too few choices naman, people feel limited. That's where strategy comes in, no? That's what we call anchoring. Anchoring is a psychological pricing technique that helps people decide faster while guiding them to the option that you actually want them to pick. Let's say you offer 3 packages. So, ito yung 3 packages natin. We have the basic, the standard, and the premium. Most people will actually go for the middle one, the advanced or the standard package because it feels safe. It's balanced and it's not too expensive. That's the anchoring effect in action. The basic package, it acts as your lower anchor. Okay? It makes your other offers look more valuable. So, sa madaling salita, itong basic package natin is it's a strategy, but it's actually a smart strategy. What we're aiming is for your clients to choose the standard package, okay? The premium package act as your upper anchor naman, itong premium. It sets a ceiling, making the mid-tier look like a smart deal. So, it's not manipulation, it's pricing psychology. You're simply giving your clients context to decide. And anchoring helps the brain compare logically rather than emotionally. Okay? So, What we learn from this is that always give 3 clear options. Okay? Not 2, not 5, but 3. People like having control, but not too much confusion. Also, make the middle option your recommended or best value package. That's where your ideal client will most likely land. Kasi yun naman ang goal natin for the anchoring effect. Okay? You're not just selling a service, no? You're guiding a decision. So using anchors to frame your prices. So instead of saying my rate is $10,000, blah blah blah, I say I have three options for you. Start at 190 for the basic, the standard $380, and $550 for a premium. So instantly $380 now looks more reasonable, and most clients will take it. So there. Now we've talked about the anchoring effect on your tier packages. Now, many freelancers stay broke not because they lack skills naman, no? But because number one problem is the pricing. Understanding pricing logic. So many freelancers stay broke dahil hindi sila kulang sa skills, but because they are unfamiliar. Even if meron mga pwedeng sundan na mga templates for the rates, you cannot just simply rely on that, okay? Charging randomly, no? Saying to lowball offers and treating your work like it's an hourly job, okay? Which is not, okay? Instead of it thinking as an hourly job, think of it as a professional service, okay? The result of this is that you're gonna get burned out. You can have unstable income if you just charge randomly. Kaya nga, inisip ng mga ibang clients, they can negotiate with your value. Pag meron kang tiered packages na, mas madali na lang yung usapan, no? No more too much negotiation. But of course, there are people or there are marketers that use customization naman, yung mga quotations, no? Customized quotations for client needs. So basing on their requirements and their needs, no? But packaging your services makes it more easier and less hassle for both parties. Okay? So why should you consider the client budget and project scope, of course, okay? So pricing isn't just about putting a number, okay? It's a strategy, and when done right, it's one of the most powerful tools to help you earn more without working more. How do we do that? So first is consider client budget. Consider your client budget and then the project scope. Marami sa mga freelancers, they miss the mark because they price based on what they think they're worth, not on what the project really requires. So every project has 3 invisible factors. So we have the scope, we have the time, and then the budget. Okay? You need to align your rate based on how deep you go into this 3. So you're not underpricing, you're creating more clarity. When you show clients a clear structure, they instantly understand where their money goes. Kagaya ng pinakita nating package kanina. No more awkward, can you lower the price moments. Wala nang mga ganun. Baka pwede nating bawasan. Because now it's transparent. If they want more results, they choose a higher package. So, yung scope ng basic package natin, pinakita natin kanina. Like 5 social media posts, basic copywriting, simple Canva visuals, 1 platform. Let's explain deeper, no? Since we're talking about the pricing here. For the basic package, for example, this package is for small businesses. This is for startup, testing the waters. They have limited budget. Ano ba yung pinag-usapan natin, 'di ba? Pricing based on the client's budget. Okay? They have limited budget. Pag si basic, clients have limited budget but need consistent output. So you, on the other hand, you spend less time because you have fewer deliverables. You don't handle ads or you don't handle analytics. You're not expected to grow the page overnight. So the goal of the basic package is to get the client started, not to over-deliver. It's your entry point offer that still pays fairly for your time. With standard naman, so for example, you have 20 static posts and stories. Now, ang number of platform is 2. Okay, so you're no longer just creating, you're thinking and then you're tracking. Okay? Kasi may action plan ka din dito. Now, the clients get more value because they're not hiring you just to post. They're hiring you to guide and to analyze. Now, with this package, it bridges the gap between I just need someone to post and I need someone to help my brand grow. It's for clients who already see ROI potential and can pay mid-tier rates. Okay? So, kung isipin nga, mababa pa itong $190, $380 to $500. Why? Because later on, I'm gonna explain why. Okay? Kung bakit ito yung pinili ko na pinakita ko sa inyo. Okay, now for the premium, this is your all-in-one solution. 12 to 16 posts, 25 posts, 5 carousels, 20 static, and so on. In 3 platforms na siya. So, this isn't just about creating content anymore. You're now a growth partner. Someone who helps drive results, not just deliverables. So, that's why pricing triples, no? More platform, higher responsibility, performance accountability, plus strategic involvement. So, yung premium clients mo are those who already understand that marketing is an investment. They don't mind paying more. They mind results. Practical takeaway natin here is that when setting your price, list all tasks per package. Estimate the time each one takes. Multiply that by your desired hourly base. Add 15 to 25% markup for your expertise, revisions, communication time. Okay? Paano ba yan? Pakita natin ito. So, this is just an example on how you're going to calculate your rate. Okay? So, ang foundation pa rin natin is yung per hour natin. But that's not all. Okay? Hindi lang siya hour. Kasi hindi lang naman yun ang binabayaran sa'yo. Hindi lang yung oras mo. Okay? So, example, if you want, for example, 25 per hour mo. $25 ang per hour mo. For a basic project, ha? Basic project lang to. Now, it took you 10 hours to do the project. So, that is equivalent to 250 base pay. Okay? Ngayon, what happens is that you're going to add 20%. Okay? 20% for client coordination. What are your expenses, your cost? For example, gumagamit ka ng Canva Pro for your content creation. Include that. Okay, so add additional 20% for your level of expertise and all of your efforts. Okay, so hindi lang oras yung binabayaran sa'yo, including your expertise. Okay, and your client coordination, your communication to your client, kasama yun sa binabayaran. Now, you have a 300 total for 10 hours. This is just an example on how to calculate your rate. So, you're not just copying another freelancer's rate. Okay? You're basing it on your own unique case. Okay? So, that's how you create logically and defendable pricing, not just random numbers, not just copying what other freelancers rate are. Pinag-usapan natin yung hour. Why you shouldn't price your time and when it still makes sense. Okay? Kasi yung iba, I charge 300 per hour, for example, or ano ba yung minimum wage natin, let's say 600 per hour. It sounds fair until you realize you're getting punished for being fast and efficient. Paano pag mabilis ka magtrabaho? So mas konti lang yung kikitain mo. Clients don't care how long it took you. They care about what they got out of it. So results, outcome, your value. That's why smart freelancers, they price based on value and outcome. Value-based pricing. Outcome-based pricing, not just basing on your time. Kasi gaya ng sabi ko kanina, paano kung mabilis ka magtrabaho? Okay? So, kunyari, natapos mo yung task mo ng 1 hour lang. So, you only have 600 pesos. Okay? Magbigay tayo ng scenario, no? Why we're saying this. Okay? So, if you're pricing your time, it has its own pros and cons. So, for the pros, it's easy to start with, especially for beginners. Yes. It's clear, it's measurable. Clients see how many hours you work. Okay? So, it's transparent. It protects you also from overworking if the project's scope expands. Okay? Now, what are the cons? It limits your earning potential. You only get paid when you're working. Kapag hindi ka na nag-work, hindi ka na bayad. Okay? Clients may also micromanage or question your productivity. Diba? Yung karamihan ng mga freelancers ngayon, virtual assistant, have time trackers. May mga time trackers sila. Now, fast and skilled people earn less because they finish early. Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina. Now, also, you attract clients who think in cost, not in value. Okay? So, for example, if you charge, this is just an example, if you charge 300 per hour, a task take 2 hours, for example, so I have 600. You finish faster next time 1 hour lang because you improve. Now you only earn 300 for the same quality of work, no? You got better in doing your job, but you got paid less. That's a trap of hourly pricing. Okay? So, yun yung mga beginner traps na iniiwasan natin. You shouldn't price based on your time, but you should price based on your value. Okay? Kasi if you price based on your value, you're focusing on results, not time. Okay, of course, mahalaga yung time, okay? You get rewarded for your efficiency. Also, kapag project-based ka or value-based pricing ka. And then, clients care more about the outcome and less about micromanaging. So, it's easier to scale. You can manage multiple clients. Ito ang kagandahan din with less burnout. Okay? So, yan yung kaya naman yung mga iba, gumagamit din sila ng hybrid model, yung mga practical freelancers. So, they blend both yung hourly pricing and then project-based pricing as well. Okay, but of course, you need to include your clauses. Anything beyond 20 hours or 3 revision will be billed at 500, blah, blah, blah. That way, your base pay reflects value, but your time still has protection. Okay, when you charge by the hour, you're selling your time. When you charge by the project, you're selling transformation. And people pay for more when it comes to transformation than time. So, pagka naman kasi sa pricing, no, you know now how to bundle your services, yung use anchoring, create smart options. Pricing is the hardest part because it's not just numbers, it's confidence, it's positioning. You can have the best package in the world, but if the pricing doesn't make sense either to you or to your client, it won't sell. So how do we find that sweet spot between affordable and profitable? No, when you're setting your package prices, the first step is knowing your value. Okay, it actually, think about it, how much time and energy it actually takes for you to deliver each element inside that package. So, bumalik tayo dito. It means that yung estimating hours mo, yung workloads mo, yung deadline mo, you're thinking about it, not just the deliverables, okay? So, for example, dito sa basic package natin, ang basic package takes around 10 days, okay? Hence, the price, $190. So, if you calculate, for example, kung 1 month siya, 190 times 3, 30 days. So, that's 30 days. You have $570. So, ang pinapakita natin dito na, bakit mura? Sabi nyo, diba? Pero, it's because the delivery time is 10 days. Okay? So, sa 10 days na yun, naibigay mo na lahat itong scope na to. Okay? So, if it's 1 month, kung wari, in-avail ng client mo itong basic, 190 times 3, that's $570. So, you're earning more. Okay? Now, you don't have to tell your clients your hourly rate directly, but you should know it internally. Hence, yung computation natin dito kanina na pinapakita. Dapat alam mo yung calculation kung bakit ka nakarating dun sa rates mo na yon, not just pricing randomly. Okay? So, this is just your guide. Okay? And then, it gives you a baseline reference. Okay? Especially if you prefer to charge per project. This helps you make sure you're not underpricing yourself just because a client said budget lang. Okay? Or naka-budget lang ako sabi ni client. But the thing is, pricing isn't only about hours, no? Gaya ng in-explain natin kanina. Why you should never charge based on budget. It's also about the system, the strategy, and the experience that you bring into the service. Okay, hindi lang siya about the hours. So, you're not just delivering outputs. You're delivering solutions, results, in peace of mind. Because at the end of the day, if the work is done, there's peace of mind for both the client and the freelancer. Natapos ko yung trabaho ko, nag-grow yung business mo. That's why even if two freelancers offer the same deliverable, their prices can be totally different because what the client is paying for isn't just the task, it's the value and transformation behind it. Okay? Now, what do we learn from this? Okay? What we learn from understanding scope and pricing logic. Okay? So, what we learn from this is that number 1, knowing your effort to income ratio, how long it takes, plus how much value it gives is equals your real worth. Okay? So, you don't just price randomly. You price based on the effort to outcome ratio. Lesson 2 is that always add strategy and thinking time in your pricing. You're not a robot. You're doing tasks. No, you're a marketer. You're a problem solver. You're a creative. Okay? Lesson 3. Price based on project value, not just hours work. Your package, gaya ng sabi natin kanina pa ulit-ulit, package isn't just time. It's experience, quality, trust package into one. Okay? And then being transparent about time frames. Tell clients how long each package takes. It sets the expectation and subtly it reinforces your professionalism. Okay? So there you have it. That's actually basically the gist of this webinar. Okay? Knowing your value, creating specific bundles, scope of services, and pricing strategy. Okay, so let me just give you a bonus na lang before we end here. This is what we call, we have a strategy here na ginawa natin, and then pinakita ko sa inyo. And also, let's explain why the price here, bakit ito yung napili nating ipakita sa inyo. Dito muna tayo sa delivery time. So, we have here So it says here 10 days. Ano naman to? So, to explain more bakit may ganitong options is that because you're giving another option, no? Strategic option for your clients. Why? Because there are clients na kailangan nila ng immediate result. Okay? So, kung pinakita mo dito sa first basic tier mo is that your workaround is 10 days. Now, if they needed a shorter time for your deliverable, for example, yung 10 days mo, gagawin mo siyang 5 days, add 85 on top of $190. So, you have, asan na yung calculator natin? Nawala siya. So, you now have 190 plus 85. That's a total of 275 for 5 days. Okay? Work around time. So, this is what we call speed-based pricing. So, it's another way, a strategic way for you to earn more. Okay? Now, dito naman sa standard, we also have, instead of 14 days, so, magiging 6 days na lang siya. Kailangan kasi ng client ng, kailangan ko na yung project na to within 6 days. Hindi ko kaya maghintay ng 14 days. So, okay, we can do that. Plus $90 on top of $380. So, you're earning more strategically. You're giving another strategic option for your client. So, that's just a bonus for our topic. Now, bakit ito yung napili ko sa inyo, okay? So, this is a strategic pricing instead of pricing higher rates agad. You know why? When I checked this on this is on Fiverr actually. She's a social media manager and she has 3,000 clients already and has repeat clients over and over. Kaya hindi siya nawawala ng clients kasi ganito yung pricing niya. And you know, what's good about this is kaya bumabalik siya $190 for 10 days and she can accept as many clients, no? Kasi meron na siyang system. So, instead of pricing or rating your services na mataas ka agad, start smartly or price strategically. Mas marami siyang client, mas marami siyang social proof, kaya siya yung pipiliin. Instead of pricing agad ng high ticket price, not affordable, mahirapan kang mag-accumulate ng clients and you won't have social proof. But when it comes to this, it's strategic because it's a smart workaround, no? Mabilis babalik yung client sa'yo kasi nga, your services are affordable. Okay? So, that's just another bonus for the pricing or pricing strategically for your services. So, it's not always, magpa-price ako ng, kailangan mataas yung price ko kasi expert ako. It's not always about that. Sometimes, what are the outcomes? Isipin natin yung outcomes. Meron kang $2,000 a month, pero isa lang yung client mo. But when you price fairly, and cheaper than the average or your competitors, mas ikaw ang pipiliin. And if you accumulate that, you will have a lot of clients, repeat clients, just like what's happening for this specific social media manager. Kaya ito yung pinakita ko sa inyong example. So I hope that you can learn from this, and I hope that you learn a lot from this webinar, how to confidently package your marketing skills in a service that people will pay for. Basically, lahat ng webinars natin usually lasts an hour. because kadalasan sa inyo mga busy din, and I know that a lot of you mga students, especially mga graduating student, hectic ang schedule. So most of the time, even na tapos na yung webinars natin, we do have replay access with the same value, okay, for the webinar plus the certificates as well. So if you've missed this, wasn't able to watch this live, you can always message us to get the replay access, and you can also follow us on YouTube. We have our webinars conducted there, especially nung nagsisimula pa lang tayo, and then just recently, no, lumipat na tayo ng live stream here sa Facebook so we can reach more people. Sa YouTube kasi, it's more on when it's self-paced. But we did live premiere webinars nung mga nagsisimula pa lang tayo sa quiet marketing. And of course, I really do appreciate yung mga nag-register for this webinar. It means a lot to me. It makes me keep going sa ginagawa nating pa-webinar for marketing students. And may also sinabi na rin natin yung mga ETOP students natin who are working professionals while studying, diba? And ang kagandahan ng webinar natin is after our live stream, we have again replay access. So please do message us. Feel free to ask questions. How can you avail all of our marketing webinars that we've conducted since March up until November of this year? And titingnan natin kung makakapag labas tayo ng new topic for probably at the end of the month or the first week of December, kasi we all know that it's a holiday rush. But again, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching this live webinar. I don't have a camera just this time, pero if you want to see my face, may mga live stream naman tayo na ginawa, and you can always see me on my previous videos on YouTube. Kaya naman, i-follow nyo na yung YouTube natin. Please do subscribe on our YouTube channel. Like our Facebook page. Please do share our live stream. And of course, you can join our Marketing Webinar Philippines group right now after watching this, so that you can get updates on our future webinars. Of course, it's discounted for students for only 100 pesos with certificates already. And we still have the ongoing promo, no, until December, and maybe we can extend it until next year. We have the 199 pesos for 4 marketing webinar topics with 4 certificates already. And what's good about this is that it's on demand, meaning you can watch it anytime during your free time. Okay, it's good for students that are busy and working professionals who are, working at the same time, wanting to develop as a professional as well, wanting to learn more about the marketing insights in today's marketing landscape in 2025. So these are all up-to-date topics, what we're doing here, what we're discussing here. And yeah, that's basically it for this live webinar. I hope to see you again soon. So please keep updated on our future posts and updates. We're posting daily for all of the marketing webinars that you might be needing in the future. Or please do also spread the word. Okay, spread the word about this webinar and quiet marketing as well. So once again, this is Yngson, founder of Quiet Marketing, saying adios, and thank you so much everyone. Appreciate you all. Have a great night, and bye-bye.